Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Elevating Your Life. We are going to elevate today. I am so happy to share just an amazing guest, a gentleman that I met years ago. And we have with us today, David Essel. And he is a #1 best-selling author, a counselor, and master life coach. He offers a new program to help all Americans heal. He has created several programs. He is a best-selling author. His latest book is Positive Thinking Will Never Change Your Life, but This Book Will. And it's tremendous. So first off, David, I'd like to say welcome and thank you for joining us today. I'm very honored.
Paula, it's great to be back with you. Oh, my Lord, it's great to see you again. And you have a book out.
Yay, yes.
And you got an award for it.
Yes, you inspired me, David.
I'm just loving it, Paula.
Thank you. And
Great
I'm
stuff.
Working on another book this year, and it's going to be about angels.
Oh,
I
beautiful.
so love the angels. Yep. So anyway, well, David, share with everyone a bit more your background and kind of what brought you to where you're at and all the amazing work that you're doing.
Paula, you know, it's what we talked about before we started. My life, like most people, is pure yin and yang. You know, I've had absolute miracles and brilliance and tons of struggle. And, you know, so I'm just like everyone else. I got into the world of personal growth 43 years ago. I can't believe I've been doing this 43 years now. And I started out in sports psychology, where I was working with athletes. And then I went into the world of health and fitness. And then in 1990, I had a breakthrough in two different ways, two totally different ways. I received a client that had nothing to do with health and fitness and sports psychology. She needed help with self-esteem and confidence after her husband left her for a younger woman. So this opened up this like amazing opportunity for me to start to go down different places. You know, we started doing relationship work and addiction recovery and spiritual, much more deeper spiritual work. And all of that was happening in the early 90s. But when I say that there's always a yin to the yang, in 1990, I had a failed suicide attempt. So I had planned on taking my life. I had reached an extremely deep level of clinical depression, even as a counselor, minister, and all the different work I do. It's really hard to diagnose yourself. It's really hard to heal yourself. So on the day of the failed attempt, I ended up going into a psychiatrist's office. There was no one that could take me for 4 months. And I knew I needed help. And I went and sat for hours. I think I sat for 6 hours. And the secretary kept saying to me, "You're going to have to leave. The doctor doesn't have space for 3 months." And I just refused to leave. And that gentleman came out after 6 p.m. and he looked at me and he said, "You've been here for 6 hours." I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Come in. I will help you." Paula, you know, I could cry, and I might. First, it was the sign of humanity I needed. I needed someone to say yes. I had been so independent and had been so strong, some people would say, in battling my internal demons that I never had really asked for help. And by not asking for help, I got myself into a suicidal position. So when he said, "Yes, I'll help you," a switch flipped in my brain. Now, it took about 8 months to work through everything that you have to work through when you're in that deep of a clinical depression. I was on very heavy duty medications, and there was all kinds of side effects. I couldn't sleep because of this medication. Then they put me on this medication. And finally, after, I guess it was almost close to a year, I got free of all medication. And I'll tell you how it happened. And it was just adorable. I was working with another counselor. Her name was Ina. And we had worked together for the full time ever since I got out of the psychiatrist's office. That first day when I walked in, he immediately turned me on to her and said, "You've got to work with this woman every week." And I did. And at the end of the year, I came in one day and I said, "Ina," I go, "you're not going to believe it." And she said, "What?" I said, "The birds are back." And she said, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Well, you know, I live on the beach. I'm blessed and all this, but I mean, their birds are all over the place." And she sat there, Paula, and there was this little smile. And she said, "David, no, you're back.
Yeah.
The birds are here all the time."
Yeah.
Now you're back.
Yes.
And Paula, it was so incredible. And that experience then put me really into the world of addiction recovery, mental health recovery, anxiety, depression, suicidal, PTSD, and all of a sudden, 10 years before, I'm working with major league athletes and minor league athletes and health and fitness experts. And 10 years later, I'm all of a sudden in the bowels of some of the most difficult things that people go through in life. And I love it. And Paula, that failed attempt, just like my 30 years of addiction before I got healed, these things that people look at David Essel as being, whoever, if you know who I am, you think I'm some amazing human being and everything. And there's a part of me that is, but there's also a huge part of me that how I got to where I am today is surely not a carpet ride. And most people who are doing great work in life, they don't have silver spoons, they don't have things handed to them. The greatest teachers are our greatest failures. We've heard that over and over again. I can attest to it. It's true. I've gone bankrupt. I've been divorced. I had a failed suicide attempt. I was a 30-year alcoholic, and of all that stuff, I love life. I embrace life. I grab it. I race after it. Some of the things that we'll talk about today, we've created programs in COVID that in the pandemic that I never would have ever thought that we've been doing, Paula. So, here I am today sitting with Paula, sharing a little bit of my story, but really the work is about how do we help others?
Yes.
David Essel and Paula Vail right now are helping others by simply being us and simply being real and authentic. And then the next level is, Wayne Dyer, and I could talk for hours. I'm going to have to let you get a question in here, Paula, but I got to tell you something else that goes hand in hand with our new program that we're going to talk about. We're giving away 500,000 online healing programs. And how that came up was with really the beginning of it was in 1990, 1991. I'm doing national radio. I have Dr. Wayne Dyer, the late Dr. Wayne Dyer, as a guest. And at the end of my first interview with him, he looks at me and he goes, "That was phenomenal. Like, how long have you been doing talk radio?" And really, it was 6 months. I was brand new to it, and he said, he goes, "You're an amazing host. How can I help you?"
Yeah.
Now, Wayne
Oh.
Dyer, for people that don't know, in 1990 was huge. He was a
Mhm.
megastar in 1990. And I'm looking at him going, this guy's asking me how he can help me. And I didn't know. And I said, well, Wayne, I go, the first thing I can think about is how do I continue to create greater success? How do I create what you've created? What's the secret? And he smiled and he said, give it all away.
Oh, I
He
love
said,
it. I love
what's
it.
that?
I
Yeah,
love it.
I love it. Right. He said, find something you're passionate about and give it away. Now,
Yes.
this was before the internet, right? I wasn't online until 1995. So this is before the internet. So we would start doing lectures for free. We would go to whether it's women's shelters or Rotary clubs. And I just started speaking for free as much as I could, and then, when the internet came out, we started doing newsletters for free. And so I've always thought about what Wayne told me about giving away. Don't be afraid to give it away. And then we came up with this, Paula, probably about 8 months ago. The pandemic still raging, mental health crisis like we've never seen before. The American Psychological Association came out with a study. 79% of Americans do not have the coping skills to deal with anxiety, depression, insomnia, PTSD. This isn't a major study that came out. 80% of couples are saying their relationship has never been in worse shape than it is right now. 40% of people responding saying that they're dealing with anxiety and depression out of control. In our counseling practice, that is so underreported. We're looking at 70% or more of Americans struggling with some form of anxiety or depression. So we created a free program called Helping Americans Heal and the World. And we're giving away 500,000 free online programs. And when you sign up, the book that you mentioned earlier, the very first thing when you go to talkdavid.com and sign up is you get our #1 best-selling book, Positive Thinking, for free. And then every week you'll get an email with an article, a video, an interview like this. Paula, you're going to be part of Helping Americans Heal.
Oh, I
So
love it.
isn't it great? So, and we send it out. We're giving away we have over 10,000 people that have signed up already. We're giving away 500,000. And here's the commitment from me to our world. It's a $240 million investment of our program that we believe is going to change this world. Now we're going to start out with giving away 500,000, but the minute we hit 500,001, we're going to up it to 750,000 because we believe in what Wayne Dyer said. When you've been given gifts, when you have something different, something special, and you want to help people, the very first step is give it. Then, of course, you make books and sell them and you do all the other stuff. But what can you do to give your gift away to help people who need you right now is a question I'd love the audience to think about.
Oh, that is just a powerful statement. That is so true. And I have to say, with your background and what you just shared, myself, the reason I named my book, titled it, Why Am I So Happy? Because I always was asked that. I love sharing a smile. People assumed my life was great. It wasn't. I had many challenges. So the fact that you, with the background and what you went through, oh my gosh, what that gives others in what you're sharing and what you're doing. And oh my gosh, I first off just want to give you a big heartfelt thank you, David, for what you're doing for others and helping them. This is huge. This is huge. And that's so true. When we give, we get back so much more.
We do.
Oh,
we do.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. So the first thing, someone that wants to just jump in and say, yes, I want to be a part of this, they just go to the website and sign up. So that's the first step they take.
Yes. Yeah. They just go to talkdavid.com. And when you go there, you'll click it. You'll go through the first page and it says enter here. You click enter here. And right at the top of the second page, you'll see Helping Americans Heal. Click on that and join. It's free. And you'll read all about the program. You'll read about what you're going to get. I mean, Paul, I'll just tell you a few things that people get when they join, and it's so fun. So right away, I told you they get our book, #1 best-selling book, Positive Thinking. Then every Monday, they're going to get an email. Our interview will be in it. I write articles that are in it. There'll be a television show that I host that's in it. There's a radio show that I host that the people will be able to get it, podcasts from other people. And there's even more. We offer people a sleep audio. About 60% of Americans struggle with sleep every night. So we have created a sleep audio. And then you'll also receive a free 1-year subscription to Recovery Today magazine. Whether you're struggling with procrastination is a huge addiction in the pandemic age right now. If you're struggling with procrastination or money or drugs or alcohol or low self-confidence, this magazine is incredible. And so we're going to give you a year subscription absolutely free. Then there's a meditation audio that you get absolutely free. And as the program continues to build, all of a sudden, one Monday, you're going to go, oh my God, he's giving away that book as well. So, we're going to continue to give people data on relationships, depression, anxiety, insomnia, procrastination, goal achievement, everything that you can imagine that we need right now. And I mentioned something a second ago, Paula, that people don't realize how deep it's become as an addiction, and that is procrastination. Our country right now has increased the amount of people who are overweight or obese by almost 8%. Before the pandemic, it was around 80% of Americans were overweight or obese, and it's up to about 87% right now. So people are procrastinating. The number of alcoholics, sex addicts has gone through the roof because we're procrastinating. We're saying, well, when the pandemic is over, everything will turn back to normal. Well, we're in year number 3, ladies and gentlemen. The chance of it turning back to normal is very, very small. This is our new normal. And I tell everyone, we just need to live like this. Like this is never going away. Accept it. Then how do we live the fullest life while being safe and utilizing the precautions that you think are necessary? That's the work. But here's the kicker, Paula. When I work with veterans of war, they often come back with all kinds of, and their word is demons. They'll come back with all kinds of anxiety, depression, insomnia, addictions will go through the roof. The average veteran, before they reach out to someone like me, a counselor, will be back from war for 3 to 4 years, which means those demons have gotten bigger and deeper and the addictions are out of control for an additional 3 to 4 years. Then they finally come in for help. Can we help them? Yes, but it would have been much easier 3 or 4 years ago. I'm giving the same analogy for the pandemic. This is not the time to wait to take care of your anxiety, your depression, your overweight emotional eating, your alcoholism, your pot addiction, your nicotine addiction, your addiction to being right, the addiction to arguing on social media. Are you kidding me? Like, these are all addictions. So what we're saying is, this is not the time to slow down. This isn't the time to say, I'll wait till this happens. I'll wait until the vaccine mandate is off, and then I'll do A, B, C, D, E. If we don't take care of our mental health right now, we're going to be just like the veterans of war. 3 or 4 years from now, our depression, anxiety, addictions are going to be so deep, it's going to be twice as much work. So don't wait. Let's heal now.
Oh, powerful words. That is so true, David. That is so true. And now, thanks to you and what you're doing, there's a huge tool out there for everyone. Huge.
Yeah.
That's so
and it's
exciting.
Fun. You know, I mean, and it really, we have a blast putting it together every week, you know, looking for the articles, looking for the interviews, you know, it's not drudgery, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we're giving you tools and tips. And here's the other thing, Paula, that's really important. You know, I brought up a copy of the book. This is the book, the companion to the program. Now, the program is free. The book is $15 on Amazon. But this is the book that we say to people, you know, get serious about it. In the book, we talk about everything that you and I are sharing right now. The number of relationship struggles and the challenges are things I've never seen in 43 years of my practice. The rate of addiction, the rate of social media addiction. You know, we haven't seen this in 43 years of our practice. So, you know, we really want people to realize that we're one of those individuals. We're not the only one. There's other people doing great stuff to try to help people now too. But, you know, you have to take that action step. You've got to go to talkdavid.com and sign up. That's it. Then you receive. When you receive the information, use it. Read the articles, watch the videos, read the book, apply the practical information to your life, because every email that you receive from us, we call it teeth. It's going to have teeth in it. You know, there'll be, follow these 3 tips to reduce anxiety. Do these 3 things to start your weight loss program. You know, we want to give you really viable tips, not just motivational mumbo jumbo. If you can do it and you're strong, and all that plays a role, but it's not the role that's necessary. The real role that's necessary is action. And especially whatever you're challenged by most, action into those steps that you'd rather not do.
Yes. And I love that, because really moving to a manifestation and a higher level of joy and fulfillment and accomplishment, it is a step-by-step basis. And you're giving them, oh, it seems so far away, you know, no, here's some steps. And really that is the beginning, and that can really give success.
Yeah. And we do need guidance. You know, I have a counselor, right? So it's like everyone needs support at some time in life. I happen to need it every week. Other people need it once a month, once every 6 months. But, you know, I work with professionals because I want to stay in alignment, you know, and there are things that I don't see happening, just like with everyone's life. You know, we start to let go of a positive habit, or we keep saying, I'm going back to procrastination. I'm going to learn how to meditate. You know, I'm going to start getting up earlier and walking. I'm going to start getting up earlier and journaling. And one of the things that we say in our book and in the program, Paula, that everyone can benefit from right now is the healthiest people in the world are following one tip that we've been given before the pandemic has even started. And that is this: take the first hour every day and make it electronic free. The first 60 minutes, no news, no television, no social media, no scrolling your phone, no texting, no emails, nothing with electronics. The only thing you can do in the first 60 minutes is write in your journal or read a spiritual or a motivational book in your hands. We're trying to get people are addicted to electronics. They're addicted to their phone. You know, Steven Spielberg, the famous director, this is going back 10 years ago. in an article, I think it was in the LA Times. He was writing about how sad it was walking through the airport because there was no one looking up. He said, there's no eye contact. There's no human eye contact anymore. We're staring at our freaking phones, you know? And so what we say is how you start your day gives you the greatest momentum for something great to happen or something not so great to happen. So when you start your day with no news, no stock market, no gossip, no nonsense on social media, but you start it with clarity. You start it with purpose, meditation, journaling, prayer, reading. You start it with purpose. And when you do that, you give yourself the best chance to have the best day of your life every day. So let's all jump on that bandwagon.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And something else that I'm just so excited about and feeling from all of this is, you know, when we're going through a challenge, I know myself personally, it would be easy to just, I'm in this alone. I'm alone. And what you are giving others is support. And that can be so huge as well, can't it? Just knowing we're supported.
Yeah. Well, you know, knowing that there, and that's a great comment you made, knowing that there are people out there with your best interest in mind, myself and all the other people that do this kind of work, right? Knowing that there are people that really care. That is one of the greatest things because that can give someone hope. You know, when you have hope, like, oh my gosh, this guy's giving away this program, or maybe there's a woman in California that's doing something similar. Join hers as well. When you are giving people hope, you may be the only person in their life that's giving them hope. They may be in a rough relationship where they're torn down on a regular basis, or maybe they're a single mom or a single dad with multiple kids and they don't have what they feel is no free time for themselves, and no one is supporting them in their goals and dreams because they're so overwhelmed with trying to raise a family on their own. Maybe you're in a relationship where it's not working and it hasn't worked and you're hanging in there. But if you're not doing the work with a professional to either bring the relationship together or to put it apart, then that's where procrastination comes into play. You know, you sit on the fence and you know you should do something. You know, you should either get financial help, you should go to an advisor and ask for, you know, their opinion, or you should cut back on your expenses or do whatever. But instead you sit and you sit. We want people to know we're not sitting anywhere. As a matter of fact, speaking of money, when you join our program, Helping Americans Heal for free, I have to keep telling that there's no hook here. There's no hook at all. One of the things you'll also get is an audio we've done on financial freedom to help people change the mindset about money. Because, you know, what financial freedom really is, it's a very simple thing. It's emotional freedom around money. And what that means is that you have learned how to control emotional spending habits and you live below your means. Now, a lot of people don't like to hear that, right? A lot of people say, but I have a credit card. That's what the credit card's for. It's a really sad thing when you look at credit cards averaging 19 to 29% interest. When we're relying on that, we're just digging a really, really deep hole. So we say to people, let's go back to more of a minimalistic, more of a conscious approach to eating, drinking, spending, the whole 9 yards. And that's what the program does. It gives you specific tools to help you overcome challenges in life today.
Oh, yes, yes. Oh my goodness, this is so fantastic because there can be so many different things going on in our life in different situations. And that makes it so great that you help and support with such a variety of situations that someone may be going through.
Yeah. You know, the governor of Florida, where I live, Governor DeSantis, about 6 months ago, put aside $12 million to start a fund for mental health crisis in the state of Florida. And, you know, and I honor him for doing that. I wish the rest of the country would do that. I wish all the governors in the states would, and some maybe have that I'm not aware of, but I haven't heard that much. And when we heard him do that, we came out with something else, Paula, that we're very excited to talk about. And that is a brand new certification for people who want to be part of the solution in helping other people to heal. Now, I've been certifying life coaches since 1996. But this new program is totally different. It's called the Mental Health and Master Life Coach Certification. It's 30 hours long. And so I work with a group 10 hours on a Saturday, 10 hours on a Sunday. Most of them are done via Zoom. And then they have 90 days to complete the final 10 hours. Now, in this program, one of the coolest things is people think that the role of a coach, a life coach, is to give advice. It's not at all. The role of a life coach, number one, is to ask the clients deep, probing questions. And we teach you how to do this so that they get engaged in their own healing.
Oh.
The second major role of a coach is to give exceptional homework assignments and hold the client accountable to completing those assignments. So when we teach, you don't have to be a psychiatrist to be able to learn this stuff. You have to have an interest in helping other people. That's all you need. We'll teach you everything else. We'll teach you the origin of depression and the solutions that we can say without being doctors, what works in regards to the world of depression, anxiety, addiction, PTSD. You know, because I went through my failed suicide attempt, we are talking about suicidal ideation in the course. So when you join us, we're looking to create, Paula, an army of coaches that are going to spread across the world and are going to start giving people basic information that were never taught, signs of clinical depression, signs of anxiety, and then solutions. So all you have to do is go to talkdavid.com. You'll see the mental health and master life coach certification. Join us. You know, I'm so excited, Paula, because I get a chance to do this. And the end result is we'll have all these people out there doing what our country can't afford to do. Our government can't afford to offer mental health care for all 300 million Americans. But we, as an army of trained helpers, health helpers, we can get out there and make a major difference in this world with certification. And I'm fired up to be leading the way.
I love it. I love it. That is so fantastic. We have about 2 minutes left, David. What last words do you want to share with everyone before we say goodbye?
Paula, it's a great question. You know, the number one thing is that you deserve the peace that you desire. You really do. In these crazy times, you deserve the peace you desire, the peace in your love life, the peace in your own mind. A lot of us are filled with anger, irritability, road rage. We all deserve peace. But in order to get peace, we have to start living differently. And that's what our work is all about. We help people live differently. So don't give up. Don't shut down those blinds and say, oh, I'm just going to wait till all this is over because things will get worse. Get off the fence, jump into one of or both of our programs, and let's help heal this world together. And the last thing I'll say, Paul, is this. With either of the programs, the free Helping Americans Heal or the new certification, the number one thing you're going to learn is how to help yourself. And when you know how to help yourself, you'll know exactly how to help others.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I am so grateful. Please share with everyone one more time where they can sign up and just really make some great changes in their lives. And for
it's so simple, Paula. Just for everyone to go to talkdavid.com right now. You can sign up for Helping Americans Heal, the free weekly online program. You can also sign up for the mental health and master life coach certification. It's all at talkdavid.com. So join us in both. Let's make a big difference in this world. And Paula, thank you so very much for bringing us on and allowing us to share these stories and these programs with your audience. I appreciate you so much.
Oh, thank you, David. And I'm so grateful to you and appreciate you. Love, hugs, and blessings. Everyone out there, love, hugs, and blessings. If you're listening to this in audio, you can see the video at patreon.com/Paula Vail. Have a great day, everybody. Oh, I'm so grateful. Big hugs.